Hello there, Sarah from 17 once again, introducing you to my Ninja Gaiden Beginner's Guide to Master Ninja difficulty. This is chapter 16, the Fiendish Awakening, and we are in the second section of that aforementioned level. So once again we're going to be taking on some of the sliding imps, and you'll see them spawn in at 1 to 2 intervals, and they're more than manageable because they're an intelligent enemy that if you fight correctly you shouldn't have too much difficulty with. Something that Ninja Gaiden 3 clearly has no fucking concept of. But what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be continue on through this backtracking section of the game. But don't worry, it's not too long, and I've played this game enough times to know where I'm supposed to go. So right there, I drop a smoke bomb because I know there's going to be a lot of those giant crab dudes there, the blue guys with the crystals and the amethysts on them, and I don't like fighting them. And the reason I don't like fighting them is because I'm not comfortable doing so. I haven't had a lot of experience, and the places they want you to take them on are silly areas like this with a really bad camera and really claustrophobic encounters, and I'll just end up taking unnecessary damage, so I completely evade that encounter. So use the save point, as you should always be doing when you pass them, and proceed up the staircase. And we're going to be making our way back to the Hayabusa village, and back to the kind of crazy pyramid area, and I'm not quite sure where it is in Vigor or wherever the hell we are, but it's some distance from where we are right now. But as you come out of the sewer, you're going to encounter the zombie soldiers, and these motherfuckers love to grab. They're ridiculously grab happy, so you want to just try whatever combos you can to try and stop them from doing that. But luckily enough, compared to the original Ninja Gaiden and Ninja Gaiden Black, the grabs damage have been toned down significantly. Like, 2 grabs from these on Master Ninja on the original Ninja Gaiden would probably kill you, because they did considerably more damage than they do now. And as long as you can, you know, prioritize and lift one with the Azuna drop and then use his essence to UT his friends, you shouldn't have any real issue with it. But a couple things to note: if I sound slightly off, it's because I've got a bad throat. I've had it for a while now. I'm sounding even more Barry Whitey than usual, and also if there's a bit of a tint of echo to my voice, I'm recording this in my living room, so I've got a nice big room around me and it's bouncing off and making me sound a little bit more operatic than I normally would. But everything else, all is well. So I've literally just stopped recording the most recent thing I've been doing, because as a lot of you know who keep up with my channel, I'm currently in the middle of my finals, my final year of university, and the deadline is about 2 weeks away, so I'm pretty much doing nothing but work. And as soon as I get a couple of moments free, I'm going onto my Xbox and I'm trying to either just play for fun with friends or try to record some stuff. But once again, there are more of these zombie dudes here. You don't have to fight them if you don't want to. I think they're one of the worst enemies on the game, purely because of how aggressive their grab is. And I'm going to be referencing a lot of things to Ninja Gaiden 3 because it's the hot topic at this moment in time, and the only thing that this game has in common with Ninja Gaiden 3 mechanically is the grabs. On the third installment, the enemies are ridiculously grab happy, as are those zombies right there, and that's pretty much as many parallels as I can draw. But pick up the Life of the Gods, continue on here, and as I was saying, I've just got finished up recording a couple more chapters of Devil May Cry 3 because I got the collection, and I'm a massive fan of those games. I'm a massive fan of action games in general, and a lot of people have been asking for my Metal Gear Solid 3 guide, and don't worry folks, it is coming. I've not forgot about it. It's just I haven't had time to sit down and play the game because there's new games come out, and I'm pretty strapped for time at this moment. Also, a couple of people have shown concerns about the Azura's Wrath guide. That will be coming, and have no fear, that is an exceptionally short game, and I'll be able to do it in pretty much a day. I'll knock that bad boy out in a couple of hours, not even that, because I will be skipping all cinematics, which is kind of against everything that game represents, but you'll understand what I mean when I play it. But once you pull the drawbridge down, I'm going to put my derby on, and there's a lovely safe spot here so you can hit these giant ogre guys from a distance with the ultimate technique and do some cheap damage. And it's kind of funny because this fight can alternate depending on difficulty, as a lot of things do on this game, and it's one of the things I love about it the most. And I think it's either this one or a fight coming up where on every other difficulty you fight something along the lines of these ogres right now, or something else that I'm not the biggest fan of because I don't like the ogres. I think they're bullshit. They're too big, the camera's too bad, the arenas are generally too small. It's a very frustrating fight unless you can do this to them. But anyhow, they replace on Master Ninja the enemies that were frustrating with Berserker, and the Berserker guy, or the Nightmare, or whatever you want to call them. They're not too bad as long as they're on their own. If they've got anything with them, you're probably going to have a bad time, but as long as you can get them on their own, they're a piece of piss. And I think when you kill that, you get a Talisman of Rebirth. So I actually have 2, and I think that's the limit on Master Ninja. So as you can see, I am rolling in talismans, and if you play the game enough and you get good enough at it, you'll probably never need to use those talismans, but on a couple of boss fights you're going to see me use them, because the checkpoints on this game really frustrated me when it came to taking on bosses. I was sick of running back to where the bosses were to get my ass kicked again, and I kind of drew the line. I'm going to use a talisman. It's my first time through on Master Ninja, and I just want to get the guide recorded as quick as I can. And I don't recommend anybody play that way, because I was playing for function rather than anything else, but it was just a necessity that arose. And the reason for it is, coming up is a boss called Awakened Alma, and she's one of the gayest ones on the game, because she's very cheap, and a lot of the techniques that you've got to do are simple, but they don't work, because sometimes she's randomly immune, and other times you'll just not connect, and it makes very little sense. But as you come through the door, you want to use the save point. The first thing I do is I wind path off the top of the zombie guy to stun him. It is a guaranteed stun, and it will lower their guard. So if an enemy's ever blocking too much, try and wind path on him, and it should open him up to attacks. I don't think every enemy can be wind pathed on. There's a couple that'll stop you, but the general, Sod's Law or Murphy's Law, whatever you want to call it, is to try and wind path on everything. And swinging it back to Ninja Gaiden 3, the wind path still exists, it's just a hell of a lot slower, and it doesn't seem to be anywhere near as useful, because it doesn't seem to drop the guard like it used to do, and you can't drop from it into an on-landing charge to do an essence technique, because they've taken them out of the game, effectively, which is tragic, but I'm just one lowly guide maker commentator, so I can't change how these companies design their games. It's just not how it works. And a lot of people are asking me, why am I banging on Ninja Gaiden 3 so much, and the reason is because it's a bad game. And if you like it and you don't agree with me, that is awesome, because it means that the game came out and you had something you enjoyed. I did not. I had something that literally made me wish it wasn't in existence, because I feel it's that bad. I've got a whole bunch of metaphors which I'm probably going to use in the next video, because this one isn't long enough, but they all generally end up saying the same thing, and that one thing I can honestly say is, if I gave the pad to anybody on the street or anybody that I know to play this game, they could not do what I can do on this game. If you gave them the same pad with Ninja Gaiden 3 on that, they would be able to do the exact same things I can do on that game. And that is the difference in the depth, the challenge, and just the nuance to the game. And that's how I feel. And if you disagree, it's awesome, because that's what it's all about, and I'm glad you got a good game, but I didn't. As I wind path off at the top of the mages there and use their essence to kick some ass. You'll also notice I've got the Lunar out because I knew this fight was coming, and I wanted to try and do an on-landing charge to start the fight, to maybe dismember a couple people, and then, just go from there. But I'm doing a lot of counters as well, and it's something you've not seen me do too much of, and the main reason is, it's not because I've got bad timing, it's because I'm so afraid of being grabbed. Like, Ninja Gaiden 2 teaches you almost mercilessly to never stand still, because if you do, you're just going to get grabbed. And this game is a little bit more methodical in your movement, it's a little bit slower, it's a little bit less intensive, and I definitely like the pace. I enjoy the pace, because it makes it a lot more strategic, I think, because the enemies are smarter, the enemies are more cunning. And on the second game, they just made it so that there was a lot of them and they did a lot of damage. But they were still kind of tricky, but they were nowhere near the level of just absolute badasses as they are on this game. So, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the boss fight, and you take care now.